Now, after the police officer has asked you to step out of his car, he may ask you to perform what are commonly called standardized field sobriety evaluations. The field sobriety evaluations came about in the late 1980s. There was a professor at the University of Southern California who decided to come up with some standardized, quote, tests, although they're really evaluations, that every police officer in the country would learn and would hopefully administer in the same way every time, and therefore could form an opinion as to whether or not someone was impaired due to alcohol or drugs. There are now 3 standard field sobriety evaluations which the police officer should ask you to perform. The first will always be what is called the horizontal gaze nystagmus, or the HGN, where the police officer will take his pen and he will make you follow his pen with your eyes, making several passes. He's looking to see if your eye involuntarily jerks at certain levels, and his training tells him that if your eye, or if he sees 4 out of the 6 total maximum clues, that your blood alcohol level could be above a .10. The second test he will have you do is a balance test called a walk and turn. He will have you walk 9 heel-to-toe steps out, make a small turn, and make 9 heel-to-toe steps back. And the third standard field sobriety evaluation is known as the one-leg stand, where the police officer will ask you to stand on one leg for approximately 30 seconds. Now, there are several reasons why you should never do the field sobriety evaluations. The first reason is that in Georgia, at least, the field sobriety evaluations are purely voluntary. The police officer does not have to tell you that they're voluntary, but they are. And therefore you should exercise your constitutional rights not to incriminate yourself and politely decline to do the field sobriety evaluations. The second reason is that the police officer, while he may demonstrate briefly how to do the evaluations, he will never tell you all of the clues that he's looking for. So it's like taking a test without knowing the answers. You may think that you're walking a straight line perfectly fine, but you don't know what the clues are that the officer is looking for. And therefore, when he gets to court, he may say that you had numerous clues that would indicate you were impaired. And of course, the third reason is, unless there's a video of your stop, then it's basically the police officer's word against yours as to how you perform on the field sobriety evaluations. So those are the 3 standard field sobriety evaluations. There are other evaluations that officers sometimes ask you to do, such as saying the ABCs or touching finger to nose, or perhaps taking a portable breath test at the scene. Those are not the standard field sobriety tests, but for our purposes, just understand that the advice is still the same, and that is you should always politely decline to do any field sobriety evaluations whatsoever on the side of the road. Next time we'll talk about whether you should take what is known as the state chemical test.